Take a look. It's August 1st, 2025. Happy August 1 warning day. It's time to get in the weeds. You know who I am. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, where I post the spiciest content. And I point out when Jimmy Hart is a lying sack of garbage. I only do that on that platform because people understand there. Jeremy Lambert posts everywhere because he's not afraid. He'll take the heat. He's ready for everything that comes his way. How you doing, pal?
Well, I don't post everywhere.
It's true. You don't post anywhere.
I'm only on the Twitter. I can't do multiple platforms. It's like, oh, what do I post here? What do I post here? I'm just on one. It's a hellhole, but there's still some entertaining stuff on it. So, and I don't check my mentions and stuff. So that makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, my mentions are all turned off for the stuff. If I don't turn them off, I just mute everything. I just mute it all. I post a good joke. I'm like, we're just gonna leave it at that. It's just a good joke that I made.
Yeah.
Some people didn't see the War Games joke that I made, but
that was good. That's okay.
Thank you. It's because I peak. Sometimes I do it at peak off hours. It's like me, calling Kyle Fletcher old taint tax last night.
Taint tax?
Taint. Because he got tax in his taint.
I got it.
He kicked him right in the taint. There were tax in his taint.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, you got to have some type of like cup on down there for that to work.
You just commit to the business, brother.
No.
These people aren't the smartest people in the world. We know this.
No, there's no way you're putting real tax down there and letting someone kick that into your crotch. There's no way. You gotta have some type of like protection down there.
Yeah, the protection are his friends who are going to help him pick him out one by one afterwards.
No, I don't believe that. There's got to be some magic there.
Yeah, the magic of having it pulled from your taint after you finish the match.
Stop it.
The adrenaline wears off, and they're just like, let's get him out before it starts to actually hurt. It's just a pinprick. It's fine.
A pinprick? It's your cock.
It's your taint. I get it. It's a taint. I get it. But you're not getting it in there. Like, it's
that's the risk, though.
Oh, of course, but risk it for the reward.
No, you're not. You're not doing that. There's gotta be like, yeah, I know like most fell out and everything, but still, you can't risk there just like being one. What if it goes into like your no, I don't even want to
go into the urethra.
Yes. Yeah,
it's a flesh wound. It's not that tall.
Nah, it's just. I would never ask Kyle Fletcher to expose the business or anything. But
I would. Honestly, if we had Kyle on the show, first question: how long did it get to get those tax out of your taint?
Truthfully, that would be a question we would ask. Yes, I would not ask like, okay, how did you pull that off without it being, terrible? But yeah, oh man, that looked like it sucked. Honestly, it really looked like it sucked. That was a great match. That was a fantastic match. And now
great main event.
Dustin's brother is gonna have to do a street fight with half of the blood and weapon usage.
You think Dustin called Cody afterwards and was like, "Top that, asshole"?
I hope so. I do hope so. Cody did call Dustin the best wrestler in the family. He called himself the best like overall performer, but he called Dustin the best wrestler in the family. Cody's amazing because he's asked like, oh, what match do you want to do from like the old school? And he's like, first blood, no ropes, barbed wire. I'm like, dude, what?
Nothing more old school than that, Cody. You got it on the first run, but then you went a little too far.
Like, they haven't done a first blood match in like 2 decades, and they've never done a no ropes, barbed wire match. Like, do you know what company you're in? You're going through a Slim Jim table this weekend, brother. Like you ain't doing no ropes barbed wire unless they get that shit sponsored. That's the only way you're doing it. Like Jack Link's barbed wire. That's the only way you're going into some no barbed wire, man. Barbed wire, man.
This blood is sponsored by Wingstop.
Yeah.
We've extended our partnership so we can make the blood for you. Try the new Cody Plasma Wings. They're covered in goodness. American Nightmare Yum.
And that's the only way this is happening, Cody. I'm sorry. Like, bless that man for just being like, yeah, first blood, no ropes barbed wire. It's like, dude, that ain't happening. You got to say something that's like maybe like a casket match. You could maybe do they might bring back a casket match. You know, it's not.
Who's the spooky guy enough to do that now? It'd have to be a Wyatt Six gimmick.
Yeah, it'd have to Cody and
Uncle Howdy.
Cody and Uncle Howdy would be something.
I think I want to see it. I can't think of any who else could do a casket match and make it make sense. I think he's the only one.
Yeah, Wyatt Six it makes the most sense there. The Undertaker just comes back and just does a casket match. Bury me softly, brother.
Oh, I can't believe that guy came back to the company. Having a blast. Good times.
Oh, you got me, brother.
Oh, I listened to the Spotlight this morning because I was running around doing stuff.
Did you hear a cuck conversation?
Yes. Why the hell are you guys doing this on your show? I'm just like, what did you say fuck me for?
Sorry, Joel.
Keep the bits contained.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad for that afterwards. I
laughed. I knew everyone. Y'all, I know people get it on this channel. It's okay. It's very funny.
I was gonna message you, but sometimes I know you don't listen, so I'm like, if he doesn't hear it, it's fine. We won't. And then if you brought it up, I was gonna apologize. I am sorry for bringing that up.
You don't need to apologize. Someone on Twitch being like, of course, Joel Pearl listens to the Spotlight. Why wouldn't I? It's a great show. Go check it out. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on this channel. On this channel that I run with this guy. So kind of want to support the product that we have. By the way, Rob and Maggie coexisting today at 3. Go check that out too. If you're gonna go and watch other stuff other than our content on this channel, watch everyone else who does live shows. They're very good at what they do.
Alistair Black's a good shout in the chat.
Yes.
Senior Nerd. Yeah, Alistair Black. He wants to do something with Cody again because they got to play off of their AEW history because they'll definitely bring that up and talk about that.
Yeah, he's going to bring back Arn Anderson and he's going to bring a real gun this time.
That would rule, actually.
Could you imagine?
Arn just doing the Glock promo in WWE all over again. It would actually be fantastic to see. Obviously, people online would be very mad. Like, I could do it all over again. But to see the reaction in the arena of oh, he's just doing this. What a new promo by Arn Anderson. That would rule.
You think Arn would block the kick again? Or do you think they'd actually have him take it?
Nah, he ain't doing that.
No, he's not.
He ain't bumping. Nah.
No, he's just gonna catch the. He's gonna catch the kick again and just completely take away all the heat from the entire story.
Yeah. He ain't bumping.
There'll be a time. It's fine. He should be in Glock commercials. Yeah, they'll get the match sponsored by Smith and Wesson somehow. You got your Second Amendment. Well, here comes the Second Amendment. Cody Rhodes wearing his Smith and Wesson attire.
We need Arn. Arn should be. He was at SummerSlam last year when Cody was walking to the ring and
walking his dog.
Yeah, he stopped and talked to Arn. They should do something with Arn this year. Arn's good. I like Arn.
I had forgotten about Pharaoh's last ride last year.
Yeah, I was there. I was in the stadium for that. No one cared about that match until Roman came out.
Well, it's kind of what you're expecting, dude. We're gonna talk about SummerSlam in a bit, but I'm looking at the card and I'm like, there is potential to be interference in every single match that they're running this week.
They love interference.
And it looks like they're going to do it. If it's not already planned by virtue of the match type, then it's just implied by the stories they've been telling. And it's kind of funny and kind of frustrating that we might just be calling it interference slam or summerference or some shit like that by the end of it.
Yeah. There's going to be a bunch of interference on this show.
By the way, main channel Monday coming this week. So hope that
That'll be
SummerSlam's
something.
so good or so bad that we have a very entertaining show on Monday. We'll have plenty to talk about, but will we have plenty to joke about? That's the big question. I checked in on our pal Andrew Zarian. He is still alive.
Oh, good.
He wants people to know he will be back. Probably once school goes full swing again, he'll be back into things. I told him to come and join our show because it'll make him miserable again, and he's like, "That's why I'm not doing it." So good for him.
I learned about this Adam 22 stuff yesterday. I don't know anything about this.
Well,
do you know about this, Joel?
I had heard about this before.
Oh.
And I'm walking through a grocery store while while the chain conversation starts, and I was just like, and the thing is, I had read, because I moderate the comments. If you didn't already figure that out in the chat, I moderate the comments on the channel, and someone had posted, here for Steven Jensen's chain lore, and I was just like, chain lore? I'm just gonna go. It's probably some reality TV stuff, and sure enough, it was. And then it was just like he starts the Aaron Carter story, and then he mentions Adam 22. I'm like, oh, this might take a turn, and it did. It took exactly the turn we expected.
I don't know these people. Like, who is Adam 22? I don't keep up with that stuff like Jensen does. If it ain't wrestling or basketball, then I don't keep up with it. And Jensen's like, he talks about, or he used to, I guess he talks about other stuff now. It's like he used to talk about rap. He's a white dude talking about rap. I don't want to hear that. Sorry to everybody who has to listen to me talk about rap, but I at least know, like, one, we're not a hip hop podcast. Two, I feel like any white dude trying to talk about rap is kind of culture vulturing, and I don't like listening to that stuff. And this dude especially, like, what do you actually do? So, yeah, I don't know the Adam 22. Sorry to Adam 22.
You're probably better off.
Okay.
Listen, I don't want to get into influence. Let's try that again. I don't want to get into influencer culture. There's a buddy of mine that I met recently through wrestling who's also involved with media, who's actually an actual journalist. His name's Nav, and he had me at one of his meetups recently, and like we were talking about wrestling and we were talking about just other stuff, and we were talking about we're going to get together at some point because he's like, I really want to pick your brain on the inclusion of influencers in wrestling media. And I was like, oh, I have plenty to say about that. And like, I'm not gonna, I think wrestling influencers are fun. I think they're important. I think that there's something that these people deserve to have the fun that they're having and do the job, do the gig they're doing, get your bag, as we say. But as media not influencing, but as media interviewing talent at media events, sometimes I'm not 100% on board with it, but I think it's also a case of knowing the room and time and place. You know what I mean? Doing stand-ups in front of a backdrop of WWE with the event that they're on, while certain outlets are doing the journalistic, whatever you want to call it, is one thing. And then sitting in the back of I don't know, I'm just using the Britain thing, sitting on the back of a bus that has, British pillows and it's whatever, doing it's again, it's placement, it's time and a place. I think they work hard, the influencers. Sometimes I know why WWE does this. I know why any of the outlets do this from both sides, but I don't want to have the conversation right now because I feel like I will be misunderstood at this point.
Okay.
There's no hate towards the influencers. I think it's just it's a question of nuance and time and place.
See, I don't know all of the influencers. I know the people that I know. And the people that I know are good people and actually like know the product and watch the product and pay attention to the product and are knowledgeable with things. I see some of these UFC has this girl, I don't know her name, but everyone just complains about her. And it doesn't seem like she actually knows like any of the fighters or what's going on. It just seems like she's there because she's some popular influencer. And that's where I get of like, okay, if you don't actually know what's going on, if you're not actually paying attention, then I have more of an issue with it. But the people that I know, I'm sure there's like influencers or just content creators and stuff in the wrestling sphere that don't pay attention to the product and don't know. But I don't follow those people, so I don't really care. The people that I follow actually know what's going on, so I don't have any type of issue with them.
Yeah, again, when they know what's going on and they're actually engaged with the product, it's a different feeling. I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it now because I think that there is a deeper conversation about the reason some influencers are given access as deep as they are versus other outlets that probe a little deeper into things. It's controlling narratives and so on and so forth. No rant rooms here. I don't have $50 to give you, but a conversation for another time. We did have, speaking of controlling narratives, I guess, you and I had a really great interview yesterday with
that
Chris.
Was a terrible segue. You made controlling narrative. I get what you were going for, but controlling your narrative was a real promotion, allegedly.
Yeah, well, By the way, I think 13 X3 whatever 13 in the chat saying they can know the product, but that doesn't mean they'll be a good interviewer. I think that is part of it as well. It's part of a larger conversation. Some people are fantastic standing in front of a camera or sitting in front of a camera and asking questions. They know what to ask. They want to ask those questions that are important but also newsworthy. And some people just want to chop it up and have a thing. So yeah, there you go. Well, another conversation for another time. But yes, I understand. Control your narrative is a terrible, terrible segue, but it makes perfect sense when you talk about narratives and control and WWE UnReal. But you and I sat down with Chris Weaver yesterday. He is the director of WWE UnReal. The interview dropped this morning at 8 a.m. I thought for the half hour that we did, I thought it was a really fun interview. I thought it was very informative. And Chris was quite candid with us. It was a really fun one. If you haven't watched it or listened to it yet, I do highly recommend it. I'm also biased, but it counts for something.
I thought it was a lot of fun, and it was his first interview he's done since the show had been out, so that was really cool. Because we asked him like, what's the feedback like? Because I read some interviews beforehand from him, because a lot of people, I don't say a lot, but there was a few outlets that got interviews with him, and those interviews came out on the day or the day before the show premiered this past week. It came out on Tuesday, so a lot of these interviews came out on Tuesday or came out on Monday, and I hadn't seen anything from him since then. So we asked him about the feedback and stuff. So being able to get that out of him was really cool. And then we asked him about a second season. Joel asked some really good stuff about kind of how things were put together and musical choices, the nerdy stuff Joel likes to talk about.
That's what I do.
But it was really good. It was really fun. And it's always good. I don't want to, whatever. We're talking about WWE UnReal, right? Usually with this stuff, I was like, we got like 20 minutes ish. Like, is that cool? And they're like, yeah, 20, like 15, 20. I was like, all right, cool. And you'll hear me. I'll be like, oh, my last one, because it's at like the 17-minute mark. I was like, I don't want to keep it past 20. And Joel just keeps going. And he's just like, I don't care about this time. But no,
there was a reason for that.
Yes. He did say beforehand, he's like, I got all the time for you guys, like whatever you need. And the conversation, as you can hopefully tell, it's going well, it's going good. And so we just kind of keep going with things. So we ended up going about 31 minutes, and it was a lot of fun. Chris seems like a good dude, and I like this series. I understand it's not for everybody. I understand some people might not like it, but I like that behind the scenes stuff. When it comes to really anything, I like watching. I mentioned in the show, I like watching the Hard Knock series on the NFL. NFL now has quarterbacks and receivers, which Chris works on. They got NBA documentaries on starting five. The upcoming one, Shay is part of that, so I'll obviously be watching that. Like, I like behind the scenes footage of things, and so I like that stuff. Even when it comes to wrestling, even if I know more about wrestling than anything else, because I listen to so much when it comes to wrestling. But I really like that stuff, and I think the series is very well done. And you might not believe all of it, but when it comes to Chris's aspect, he's not trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't believe. He's presenting the show and then it's up to you to decide how much you want to believe.
So it's very funny you mentioned the fact that we just kept going. The conversation was good, and he had all the time. And then 13 in the chat says if they really need you to leave, they'll cut you off and end it themselves. So they couldn't end it themselves because they were doing it on our StreamYard. That's one. But the other thing is there is someone from Netflix who's sitting in on the interview, which I'll pull the curtain back. That happens a lot with our TNA interviews specifically, where their PR guy will sit in the backstage and like type in our private chat if needed, whether it's wrap it up or whatever. And there was none of that communication from their PR guy. No one was trying to cut us off. So as a result, we just kind of kept going, and it doesn't seem like anyone had a problem with it. Like Jeremy was saying, Chris opened up the conversation with like, I got all the time for you guys. And I was like, cool. If they're not gonna, if they're okay, then I'm okay. And if they want us to wrap, then we'll wrap. But I had a couple questions, and one of them that Boris mentioned was the one about the nameplates, because I thought that was something that people were talking about in various spheres in different ways. And I was like, I was interested in finding out, like, was this something that came about in planning the show, or was it something that came about later on in editing where you realized, or you did one guy and then it suddenly became a bit? And like, it kind of became a bit because he talked about interviewing Triple H first and all the names and ways that Triple H is known. And also from backstage, trying to, like, from their side, the production side, hey, they would say, hey, I need you to go interview Paul, and then the guy would come back and be like, oh, I'm supposed to interview Triple H, or whatever he said. It was like one name, but he got the other one and the wires were crossed, and that kind of added to the idea that maybe we should add all these names so that people understand you could be referring to any one of these people at any time. Some of them are funnier than others, right? John Cena, my government name's John Cena. I wrestle under the name John Cena. At home, I'm John Cena. It's very dry cut, but it's good. And then he talked about the Jey Uso, explaining the name he was supposed to start with in WWE, and just kind of going into that whole cycle of how the names played a part in the narrative of the story. So I was glad that I was able to actually like get out there and be like, I got to ask about the nameplates, and we did, and it was good. So I noticed no one else had really asked about that yet because the show had not dropped.
Yeah. So we were able to. I think that some outlets that interviewed him like got early access to the series anyway, because Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, one of the two. I apologize for screwing it up, but they did an interview, and it came out the same day as the series came out, and Chris was asked about like John Cena's heel turn, Tiffany and Charlotte, and clearly like he would have had to see the episodes before that interview, because otherwise he would have known to ask those specific questions. But yes, the nameplate question was a very good question, and it was a really fun interview. It's out now on the main channel. Go watch it after this show. We got articles coming all weekend as well, so yeah, really fun, and people seemed happy with it. So,
yeah, cool. So go watch it. If you don't, I'm gonna be upset. Did we crown the July XP1?
We did.
Was it the same winner as the June XP1?
It was. Xeno Hour went back to back.
My God, Xeno Hour! Congratulations. This shows that you need to get a life, but also proves that Brian Alvarez will be tearing you a new one.
Yeah, I gotta submit the cameo. We'll do that right now on air.
Do you think he'll get it done before next Thursday?
Maybe. Why
That's
wouldn't he?
A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
I mean, yeah, but
2 nights of SummerSlam. He's got a cover. He's got Bloodsport and the ID talent getting their titles. And then there's SmackDown, and then there's Raw, and then there's NXT, and then there's Dynamite. Dynamite's going to be an interesting show. Interesting in that they're at the Wolstein Center and they're not doing blood and guts, but they got some matches that are planned. There's stuff. There's a lot going on. I don't know if he's going to get it done before Thursday.
Well, I mean, it's fine. All right, so what are we submitting here? Xeno Hour, it's for him. Xeno Hour was the top weed for the second straight month on In the Weeds. He still has no life. Please bury him more. Thanks. There we go.
P.S. Check your audio video balance. check your.
No, it's way funnier.
It is funnier.
It's way funnier.
Yes, right. Make sure you get a couple of messages while you're doing it.
It's way funnier.
Can you add a PS? Can you do this?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What?
All right, I'm just gonna.
Is everything okay?
I heard back from TNA. No, I heard back from TNA just now.
Oh, okay.
We are apparently confirmed to interview Ash in 30 minutes.
Oh, great.
But it's a Zoom call.
What?
So probably so they can control it.
Tell them no, we're live on the air, and they know how we operate.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Sorry,
message back.
we've been doing so. Again, I'll pull back the curtain. Same guy who gave us the interviews before is the same guy who is doing the interviews now. He knows when we're on the air. He knows that we've done this on the air. If he wants to play the game of, we got to do it on Zoom. No, we're conducting our business. They're invited onto our live show during our business hours to do this, not the other way. It's not happening that way. Sorry, pal.
You can't give us 30. So I'm just
and with 30 minutes warning. That part is obnoxious. Zoom gets shut down. Skype got shut down.
Yeah. 30 minutes warning with this. So here's what happened, folks. I get an email from TNA at about 9 o'clock on Wednesday. And it was for 3 interviews. It was for Nick Nemeth, Matt Hardy, and Ash by Elegance. And there were very certain times on these things. But it was for yesterday. So the email comes Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And the interviews, 2 for Matt and Nick, not the Young Bucks, but for Matt and Nick, it was for Thursday. 1 at 1 and 1 at 2, we'll say. It's not exact times, but we'll say. So we have less than 24 hours notice to set these interviews up. I emailed back within 30 minutes. I emailed back at 9:30. I was like, hey, can we do Matt at this time, Nick at this time, Ash at this time? And we picked Ash at 11 because she had availability from 11 to 12 so we could have her live on the air. I heard nothing yesterday. Absolutely nothing. And now all of a sudden I get this email 30 minutes before we're supposed to interview Ash. Hey, Ash at 11 is confirmed. Here's the link for Zoom. No. You had all day yesterday. You ghosted us on 2 interviews yesterday. And now we're supposed to rearrange our whole schedule to accommodate on 30 minutes notice when we're on the air. We're not doing this. I was so frustrated yesterday with the way things went. Because one, you give us less than 24-hour notice to try to set all of this up, and then you just don't email. You don't email back. I had to rearrange my schedule yesterday. As everyone knows, I got a lot of kids. They got schedules. I got to get with my wife and be like, hey, can I do this interview at this time? Can I do this interview at this time? And as we've learned, we had an interview yesterday with Chris Weaver. So I was trying to fit in 3 interviews after the show yesterday, before Spotlight. I was trying to rearrange my whole afternoon, and then we get ghosted on 2 of these interviews. And now 30 minutes before, you're confirmed for this. It's like, we're on the air. We're not going to set up a Zoom call here that who knows when it's going to air. You want to control it. We didn't do any prep on this. The fact that you ghosted us on 2 yesterday, I'm thinking, well, we're not going to get anything today. And if we do, it would be nice if you told us at least by 11 o'clock last night, so we have more than 12 hours notice. You gave us 30 minutes to let us know this was a thing while we're on air. If Ash wants to come on our show at 11, we'll happily have her at 11. We'll figure it out. The link is there, but we're not doing this. Come to our Zoom chat.
I know this doesn't need to be said, but I will say it. This is not a reflection on the talent at all. And I know Jeremy has not said anything to make it feel or sound that way. I would love to interview Ash. I think that she has done some really, really strong work with TNA over the last couple of years. I think that she started off in the wrong spots and they found the perfect spot for her, and she is thriving in this comedy position. I think she's been great. I'd love to talk to her about that. I'd love to give her that opportunity to shine the light on her character development. I'd love to talk about what she's been doing in TNA. And like, I get it. This is all part of they're trying to put emphasis on the pre-sale for Bound for Glory. That's why they're doing this short little media gimmick. But everything that Jeremy said is exactly that. You don't offer someone, less than 24 hours in advance and then end up with 30 minutes before, here's a Zoom link, good luck. Like the guy knows, this PR person knows very well how this works. He's been doing it since WCW. Okay, he's been in it for a long time. You don't do this, and he knows better, but he doesn't give a fuck about us because he doesn't like wrestling media. That much I'll say, flat out. But the wrestlers, God bless them, they like us. You know why they like us? Because we're fair, because we ask good questions, and because we give a shit about what they do. We're not fishing for information. We're trying to shine light on the stuff they do, on the work they're doing. And it's so incredibly frustrating when someone needs to stand in their way and hold their hand throughout. So again, I think it's asinine, and I think it continues to just prove the point that I've been trying to make for the last little while, that TNA is not exactly helping themselves in multiple ways, even with the partnership with WWE. They just continue to find ways to shoot themselves in the foot in various ways. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And then to want to do it in a Zoom link when the guy knows when we're on the air, when they know when we're doing it, I have no interest. Zero interest.
I'm responding. If Ash would like to join us, here's our show link. But we are live on air and can't stop that to join a Zoom call for the interview on 30 minutes notice when we got ignored yesterday and missed out on 2 interviews.
Yeah.
I don't care if he gets mad of like, well, we haven't had a TNA interview in forever. It's fine. Our show goes on. Would I like to have TNA talent on the show? Yeah. I'd like to have talent from all the companies on the show. But we don't reach out to them because we typically get ignored. They reached out. They reached out to us on this. They messaged us, again, Wednesday night, said, here's who we have coming up. Here's the availability. Are you interested? I responded within 30 minutes of that. Said, yes. Can we do these times for these 3? Got ignored all day yesterday. And then 30 minutes, get something for a potential interview today. I messaged back. I said, here's our show link. We'd love to have Ash on at 11, but we're live on the air. We can't stop our show to do an interview with Ash on 30 minutes notice, especially after you ignored us yesterday. What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah. I don't have anything to add. Just someone in the chat saying, I hope Sean and or Jimmy has a talk with this guy. Oh, trust me. Sean has had multiple conversations, as have I, with this guy. I've played nice a lot. And I'm just kind of done with doing this. So
I got to message Sean now. I'm like, you're probably getting an angry message from Ross because I hear him. But
yep. No, I'm sure that Sean will see it and Sean will say, good. Ross was being a dick. Sorry to derail the show like this, folks. It's very frustrating to have to do that. It's not the way that we like to conduct business, but also we don't like to be messed with. It's very frustrating. It's very annoying. It sucks because I also wanted to talk about TNA for a few minutes because there was a show that they aired last night. 13, this is an ongoing thing. I don't need to get too deep into it, but I've had TNA talent that I've physically run into at shows, say, I want you to do my interview and we want to do it in person. Can you do it? And I said, do you want me to go through the avenues through which we have to go through to do TNA interviews? They said, yeah, it's fine. But that person says no. So I'm stuck. Talent wants to talk to us. That's what it comes down to. We want to talk to talent. But if we're being gatekept by talent, or by the people who gatekeep the talent, then what are we doing? Oh, by the way, TNA does not have to ask WWE if it's okay. Trust me, they have PR people, they have their people. They have no connection to WWE when it comes to getting the interviews out there. Trick would be the only person that would have to go through WWE, or JC Jane, because she is the Knockouts champion. Those two are the only people who are TNA workers right now, holding titles, that would need to go through WWE. Everyone else goes through TNA.
All right, I'm having a conversation with Sean right now.
That's fine. Yeah, this is an ongoing conversation. Not the one that Jeremy's having, but also the one here. And then meanwhile, Observer is reporting this morning that A&E and CW have been rumored as potential broadcast partners for TNA due to the working relationships between TNA and WWE. There's maybe some WWE involvement in whatever talks they have. I made the joke about TNA going to A&E, and if it happens, sure. If they go to CW, I don't know why they would. I mean, I know why they would. I just don't know if that's the game for them to go to CW when they're already running NXT. Do they see that as a platform worth using, or does CW see that as a place worth hosting TNA, or are they going to use the CW app like they did with the NWA for a while? I don't really know where they fit, and I don't think TNA necessarily knows either. They just want a bigger deal that gives them more leverage and more money. But they're also trying to give themselves up at a song of a price when it comes to their media rights deal. That's the other side of it. So I'm curious as to where they end up. I can tell you from a creative standpoint, ain't much that's making me want to watch week to week. Santana came out and cut a promo. And again, this was a taped show, but the promo he taped, they did, was him coming out into the crowd and cutting the promo in the crowd, which I appreciated. And it's a babyface fire promo. He lost his Slammiversary. They chanted "You got cheated" and all this stuff. And it's great. He tells the story of his daughter being there, and he shed a tear for his daughter and told her, on the way home, I'm gonna get it next time. It's coming home. And it was a really, really good promo that I do recommend people go and watch. But he was already there. He was already at the top of the mountain. He was already ready for that moment. And now they're going to try and extend this babyface fire until October. 3 more months of trying to do this. And at one point, you're going to run into the dreaded apathy. And that is what we're dealing with. The potential for apathy when it comes to Santana's rise to a TNA World title. You had the moment and you gave it up. And now you think that this is the place to be. And I don't think that this is going to last as long as they hope that it will. Because we saw this story again with Joe Hendry, where it was not, oh my God, he won. It was, oh my God, finally he won. The apathy was there. It was just expected. You could have done it as a big surprise on Long Island. Instead, they're doing this. We got to extend it. We got to get the heat, and we got to get the babyface fire. And it's not 1984. It's not the USWA. Like you're doing more. So, yeah, really, great stuff from Santana. Again, the wrestlers know how to do their job, but from the creative standpoint, there's a risk that you're going to get an apathetic fan base towards the guy that is your hottest in the company right now. Look at Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry came out and did a shtick with Ali last night, and some of the crowd loved it, but not to the same degree, even close to what it used to be. And he's doing stuff with Ali, and I can tell you this much: there's a reason why Hendry's going to be on NXT soon. After that match with Mustafa Ali next week. It is what it is.
I didn't watch much of TNA last night for a multitude of reasons. One being Collision was on, and I was covering Collision. That's truthfully the biggest reason. Two, as people could maybe tell by my voice, I was not happy with the way things went yesterday. I was not happy at all. And I was not going to give time and coverage to a company that does not care about us. We don't lose anything on the site if TNA articles are not posted within 5 minutes of it happening. We don't lose anything on this show if TNA doesn't get a ton of coverage. We continue, we move forward. We're not asking for a lot. We didn't ask for shit in this case. You asked us. And then we said, okay. Then you're like, no. It's just not how you're supposed to do things. And if you're not going to do things, it's not even professionally. If you're not even going to do things just common courtesy, I don't have time for it. I got other things to do. Do you know how much wrestling there is to cover? There's a ton. If you're going to reach out to me, be like, hey, can you do this stuff? And I say yes, and then you're like, well, never mind, I'm just going to ignore you. All right, fine. Then we can ignore you too.
Yep. Oh, man. I don't know what to say anymore. I just don't. I hate having to say that TNA is doing what they're doing and that it's not good. I hate this. I don't like burying a company like this. The one that I've been covering, for the last 3 years on this site. I don't like it because I think that there is so much more potential. But we got to call it out when it happens. And that stuff's it's not fair to us. It's not fair to talent. It's not fair to people who work, doing what they can to make things better for them. Just sucks.
I do feel bad for the talent. I do. Because they don't know what's going on. Matt and Nick don't know that we want to interview them and we've agreed to times. Ash probably thinks like, oh, well, I thought we had this set up. And then it isn't set up. Like, I feel bad for all of that. Because I don't think it looks good on us in certain aspects. I don't think the Ash stuff looks good on us. I don't. I also don't think it's our fault. If we weren't doing a live show right now and they tried to give us this in 30 minutes, could we rearrange and possibly do it? Maybe. I don't know. I could have been out. I could have been at the grocery store. Like, now I got to rush home to do this interview? Like, 30 minutes notice is bullshit when these emails were sent Wednesday night to set this up. You had all day yesterday to set this up. 30 minutes. I'm not planning my entire schedule around an interview with Ash by Elegance or anyone, truthfully.
What about Cody?
Fine. If it's Cody, fine. Jensen will rearrange his whole schedule for that.
Just to watch it live instead.
Like, it's just not how you do things.
Yep.
It's just not how you do things. But they don't care. I do feel bad for the talent. I apologize to the talent because I don't want to come across as we're trying to ignore you, because that's not the case. We'd love to have you
Absolutely
on our show.
Absolutely.
But we try to set things up and we don't hear anything. And then you try to give us something on short notice. It's like, we got lives too.
Someone asking what is TNA gain by asking for a Zoom interview. It's on their ends, therefore they control the video aspect and the audio, and they can then choose to review and cut and edit as needed. If there's something that goes wrong, or if there's something that they don't like the answer to, they can edit as needed. They don't always do that. Don't get me wrong. It's more just a way of being able to control the spin effectively, and they don't want questions answered that they don't want answered. That's all. Not that we are those people who go and ask the questions that aren't supposed to be asked. 5-year deals.
I'm sure I will get an email on Monday of like, why didn't you do the interview?
We sat here waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, we're almost 45 minutes in. You should probably leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. Because we went off on multiple tangents. So go ahead, thumbs up. I don't even know if the fireworks work after 40 minutes, but here they are. Let's see. Go fireworks, go. They'll be back, I promise. There they are, fireworks and subliminal messaging. And subscribe to the channel. If nothing else, you get real, unfiltered reactions to things like this. We try to be as transparent as we can. And also, go ahead and drop a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air, and it supports this channel, which is what we love. We love when you support us. We love supporting you. So go ahead and do that.
The Nyla Rose sitcom is an
decade
old show.
later. Yeah.
It's an old show she was on, but now it's like available to view. Oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey man, good for Nyla. Really, yeah. I'm sure she's excited to have this out. I mean, at least I hope she is. We kind of suck. She's like, I didn't want this show to get out there, but you know, it is what it is. Regardless, good news. I hope that she's excited for it too. This is Busted Open's fault. You know what? I'll take it. Hanging out backstage at TNA shows. I get it. Just actively trying to fuck on us.
I apologize, everyone. I don't want to be mad online. Please do not say that I'm mad online.
It's okay. You're not mad online. You're just you're mad on air. I think it's a much different scenario.
I'm mad, but like I'm just frustrated and annoyed more than anything. Like it's not, I'm not necessarily like mad, but I am very frustrated. I am very annoyed. Like there's just a way to do things, and they don't do things the right way, and that's what's frustrating and annoying.
Yep. No, man, we work our tails off to do the work we do. Jeremy more than me, that's for sure. And so here we are. So our Zoom call.
Somebody send me some mana.
Where are you at, Micah? Yeah. We talked about TNA for a minute. We talked about the TV deal, the potential of A&E and CW being on the docket, according to Wrestling Observer. But we'll see where they fall. Again, I don't know if CW wants to put them on their TV shows, or on their TV channel, or if they're going to put them on the app like they did NWA. And A&E going into sports is such a weird thing that they might do. I get that they already do some WWE content, but I don't know if they want a weekly TNA show on A&E. They would get the ratings. Because again, if you want to get into the reality of it, is that wrestling for almost any company brings in higher ratings than typical first run content for these companies, for these television broadcasters. That's the word. So there's a possibility that they see the opportunity. It's cheap content to run. They'll win most of the nights. I'm just curious if A&E is really interested. Would things go smoothly if TNA sent you cheese platters? No, they'd have to send a lot more than that.
I want some mana.
Gotta get some mana.
TNA, send me some mana.
Don't they have a deal with the winery now?
Do they?
Yeah, at least for Slammiversary they did.
Okay, I don't drink.
They have official an official sangria for Slammiversary.
I don't drink wine, so I don't want that.
Oh well, I'll drink wine. I like white wine more.
Fair.
That's just me.
I used to drink wine. There's some cheap wine in college because college, but I don't drink wine nowadays. I mean, I don't really drink at all nowadays, but wine is definitely not something I'm into. Wine and beer, I can't do it. I can't do wine and beer.
Markovich Estates.
Okay.
There you go. If you want some wine.
Everybody's like, can I get a recap? Just scroll back 20 minutes because the email came through at about 10:30. So scroll back 20 minutes.
There you go.
And you'll hear everything. I'm gonna rehash it again.
Forbidden Door added a couple matches.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Swerve and Okada for the what are they calling it again? Sorry, unified title. I saw they cut the promo and Don Callis is wearing both of those titles and it's so egregious. It's very funny. And then also they added officially Athena versus Toni Storm for the women's world title. Athena calling her shot. It's not a cash in, it's a call your shot in her case. What were your thoughts on Athena calling the shot instead of taking the shot like she could have this past Wednesday on Dynamite?
Other explanation was good, and because she signed the contract the other week, and she's like, "How about here?" and Billy was like, "Oh, that's good." Like, we knew it wasn't like a cash in type thing. At least with her, I still think it would have been funny if she had hit the O face and then immediately cashed in the contract on in the tag team match on Dynamite. But we knew that wasn't how it fully worked with Athena. Forbidden Door makes sense. It seemed like they were aiming towards that way when this whole thing started. This is a this is an AEW show because I think the world title match is going to be Hangman against an AEW talent. I don't think it's going to be Hangman against a New Japan talent. So this is an AEW show, and then you'll have some New Japan talent sprinkled in there, and hopefully they'll get some singles matches. But like we've been talking about, it's in the middle of G1. They can't exactly build anything while they're in the middle of G1 because Suji, Shingo, whoever are not going to be able to come over for television. Gabe Kidd's now hurt. He would have made the most sense of being able to build for television, but he's hurt. I don't know if he's going to miss the show. And even if they were available, it's the middle of G1. You can't build anything with them. So you're going to get guys coming over like the final week of television, and here's an all-star 8-man tag. Here's an all-star 10-man tag. And that's what you're going to get from the New Japan side. And I think that'll disappoint some people. They'll do some singles matches, obviously. Like Will and Zach is still on the table, and that's not something you need to build on television. That's just something match graphic, have fun. But New Japan is in the state they're in right now when it comes to top stars. And because it's the middle of G1, there isn't a ton to actually build around.
We're also at a point where arguably AEW is hotter than New Japan compared to, say, the first 1 or 2 years.
Arguably. It's not arguable at all.
No, I get it, but there are some people who are going to push back and be like, no, New Japan's fantastic. How can you? Like, I get it. But also, yeah, AEW is in a hotter period right now than New Japan is. And compared to other years where, honestly, a lot of the talent that are now currently in AEW were wrestling for New Japan, so it made the matches that much more special when you did Forbidden Door a few years ago. This is now probably the first year where AEW has surpassed New Japan in terms of just content / storytelling / just hype right now. So as a result, you can almost get away with having more AEW centric matches on Forbidden Door and then have CMLL and New Japan make up the undercard in certain ways. You know, chat saying maybe it's Hangman versus MJF. You and I have talked about the potential of doing Hangman versus Tanahashi, assuming Tana is okay, coming out of the G1. I'm under the belief, like you are, a couple of all-star 8-10-man tags, whatever, and it's the G1 tags that always come up at the end of the series, where the losers all do a bunch of tag matches. You could easily just transfer those over and do an all-star New Japan versus AEW tag match, and it's just a couple of groups facing off against each other. You can have some people added to matches to make multi-person matches, do a triple threat, do a four-way, whatever. You've got Kyle Fletcher, who just won the TNT title. I don't think they've built anyone for him right out the bat. So instead you can have a New Japan talent go in, have a good match with Kyle, maybe do it with CMLL talent, do one from there, one from the other. Like, you can build it. You're just not going to build it to the degree of, a Danielson Okada or a Will Ospreay Swerve / whatever. You're not going to get Omega, I should say, Kenny and Ospreay. You're not going to get those ones. You're just going to get New Japan talent who are very popular on a card where the AEW talent is more popular. So the framing has changed. But you can still put the show on. It's just different.
Yeah. It's going to be a good show, regardless. The 2 matches they've announced are good. Swerve and Okada, they've been setting that up since after All In. Same with Athena and Tony. So you're getting 2 long builds there. Hangman, I feel like it's going to potentially be Mark Briscoe. It's another one that's kind of been building a little bit, simmering, but then it'll build up a little bit more, especially this upcoming week with Mark and MJF, because they've been building Mark through wins, and I don't think him and Hangman is a let's do a deep story type of thing. That feels like, and I'm not even sure this is the match. I'm just waxing poetic here. It could be MJF, and obviously if it's MJF, that's something that has been building, and makes a lot more sense for as far as a deeper story. When it comes to Mercedes dream match type thing, no one will have an issue with that. What else do we? Kyle Fletcher, he'll probably face a New Japan talent. You mentioned that. Maybe a CMLL talent there. And like that's no issue with there. He might be in a tag match with the Don Callis family. Takeshita, you can do something with Takeshita coming out of the G1.
Yeah, him winning the IWGP Championship.
You can do something with him, whoever he might end up facing. If whether it's as a member of the Don Callis family or singles match. Just run back Takeshi and Shingo. Just run that shit back on American soil on England soil. I think that would be. I'm not entirely sure that's off the table, honestly. Takeshi and Shingo in a singles match and them being like, if you missed it in the G1, it was maybe the match of the tournament. It's my match of the tournament so far. We'll see if anything tops it. Here it is again at Forbidden Door. So they got options. It'll be fine. It'll be a good show. People will be excited for it. But you're just not going to get the all-star feel for it that we've seen in years past because for reasons we mentioned, New Japan is in the state that they're in and they're in the middle of the G1.
Yep. What happened to Mystico MJF? I feel like we're still getting to that. Where it happens is potentially on CMLL.
Yeah, that's not a match for UK.
They don't deserve it. Damn it.
That's just a match you're doing in Mexico or the US. Like it just doesn't feel like that's. I could be wrong. Maybe they do it in the UK and they feel like all right, Mystico could take a loss here, but that's probably a match you're getting in Mexico. I think MJF is gonna win the CML title he's going for.
Yeah.
And then Mystico takes it from him. Yeah, that feels like a match in Mexico, though.
That match is tonight, by the way. MJF versus Averno.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be a long night.
Yep, starts 8:30 tonight in Arena, Mexico. Could be a fun night, but it could be a long night. So get ready for that one. People are, there's one person in the chat saying Rev Pro. Listen, I get it. You like Rev Pro, but they're not to the same level as a CMLL or a New Japan in this case. There should be some of the talent. Michael Oku's the main guy coming out of Rev Pro who's been associated with AEW. Michael Oku getting a shot on Forbidden Door feels like something they should do, but I don't know if that's something that they will do.
Yeah, they've gotten looks at Oku, and I don't know how they feel about him overall. I assume he'll be on one of these shows, whether it's a dark match or in some type of pre-show match, some type of multi-man tag team match. I assume he'll be on one of these shows. But outside of Oku, like who are you looking at Rev Pro? Like you can say Rev Pro, but then throw out a name besides Oku, because I do think Oku will be part of that. I just don't know who else they're gonna use for this show. And it's not like they've used a ton of Rev Pro talent in the past. Mercedes has gone over there, but they haven't used a ton of Rev Pro talent in the past. Oku is about the exception. Tony says you're going to see a lot of things soon, and then it doesn't happen. So
we got women's tag titles. They were made, and they're somewhere. They're sitting somewhere on the boat, but the boat is so big we just don't know where it's sitting. Oh, it's in the helicopter. Damn it! Gotta go look through the helicopter for the titles.
Saying you're gonna see like Michael Oku on TV soon, or on AEW ROH TV soon, doesn't mean anything when it comes to Tony, because he always says stuff like that. It's just a matter of it working out. He was on ROH TV in July, right? He was in Supercard of Honor, and then that was that. So I don't know how often you're gonna see him.
Yeah, Grado, perfect. When they're in Scotland, they should bring Grado just for the one show. We were talking last night on the Collision / TNA post show about Blood and Guts, and right now the feeling is amongst fans that this could be the first opportunity to do a women's Blood and Guts match. My pushback was, when the hell do you do it between now and All Out? Because you have maybe 2 venues where you can run a Blood and Guts cage match between now and then. My feeling is, so this was coming out. So they did the Tekla Willow Nightingale match on Collision. That was very good. Tekla got the win because the Triangle of Madness got involved, and then afterwards they do the beatdown spot, and Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford get involved, and Queen Aminata and Ty J make the save. So there's enough women here to do there's 6 on each side, I think. So people were like, Blood and Guts, Anarchy in the Arena, and I was like, I'm keeping my expectations low, and I'm like, you're gonna get an all-star women's 12-man tag. That's really what you're building to. But like, you can use all these women and do a bunch of like matches out of this, but the blow-off should be a big match. I just don't expect it to be anything in a cage, because other than Glasgow and the show in London, Ontario, the week of All Out, I don't know when you could do a big event like this, a big match like that. Everything okay over there? I heard something fall.
Yeah, I heard something fall as well.
Cat probably knocked something over.
Yeah, might have been the cat. I don't know. I don't know if I need to investigate her. What's going on?
Should turn on the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know when they're gonna do Blood and Guts with the venues coming up. You okay?
Yeah. I got you something.
What?
I got you something.
Oh boy, my wife has brought me a gift.
Oh, that's very nice. Did she drop it?
I don't know if she.
Is it
all right? Did you trip?
No, there's just stuff outside the door.
Oh, okay.
I was crying over it.
Oh.
Is this like the girls just keep barging in? I'm trying to keep it.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was just bad timing.
Okay.
Because I realized you were.
As long as you're okay, that's all I care about. Okay. All right, my wife brought me a gift.
Was it a bottle of mana?
It's not a bottle of mana.
She doesn't love you that
It's a
much.
pillowcase.
Oh, she does
Look at
love
this
you
thing.
that much. That's
Oh
awesome.
no, it's
Oh, no, it's gonna
green
eat up by the
screens.
card.
You can kind of see it. I'll try to maneuver it around here.
That's amazing. For the audio listeners and for those who are getting cocked by the cars, it's a WCW. Is this a pillowcase you said?
Yeah, it's a pillowcase.
It's a WCW NWO pillowcase. Oh no,
Yes.
there are some WCW stars.
Yeah.
You've
There's
got the
Brett and
Outsiders.
Lex.
Yeah, Brett and Lex, the dead guys there, and
Jesus,
back.
Joel.
oh, what? No one else.
Macho
Oh,
Man.
there's another dead guy. That's Macho Man. He
Sting.
rules. Sting, Goldberg, Buff, DDP's
DDP. Yeah,
kind
there
of
we go.
likeness.
Yeah.
Does DDP have
Can I
rib tape
go?
on?
Can I go invisible? Am I invisible now?
I mean, you're Goldberg's head, and
Oh,
you're
okay.
your
I'll just be
now.
Goldberg.
You just move it over and be Sting.
Hold on, which way?
There you go. The childhood dream has finally come true. Sting, chat me up. Oh, Buff's underneath him. Oh, there we go. So stupid.
Do you want to sleep on that, honey?
Yeah, I'll have to put that on. I'll sleep on my WCW pillowcase. Where the big boys play, everybody. Look at the adjective.
Hey, man. Y'all can get upset with me, but I am factual.
WCW sticking out, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I grabbed it. I'm
It's
taking it.
very good.
Very nice.
Yes. My lovely wife just brought me that.
Everybody thank the anonymous ITW general manager for something you will never see again.
You might. I don't know. I break it out every now and again.
That's fair. Oh my God.
What were we talking about? Blood and guts?
Blood and guts and where you could do it.
Well,
Yeah.
you would typically do it inside of 2 rings with a cage.
Yes, and they aren't running any venues that could easily have that. That's why we kept saying Wolstein Center next week. You could do it there. Can't do it, or you could do it on Collision a couple nights later if you really want to get spicy. With no build to a blood and guts match specifically. You have a build with these women involved in some sort of triangle. I guess it's a multi-team triangle. Anyway, can't do it in
Triangle of Death, right?
It's Triangle of Madness.
Is it Madness?
Yes, and a trapezoid grapazoid.
Oh, right. The Death Triangle was a different group.
Yes,
My
2/3 of them are in another company now,
Yeah.
so that's out.
Why the triangle? AW loves their triangles.
Triangles, trapezoids,
Mm.
yeah, Death Riders, Cincinnati is hosting at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center again, and then they go to Glasgow. And when they go to Glasgow, that's the next possible time to do a cage match. Unless Forbidden Door, they really want to get crazy, then you could do, so Rebin saying Anarchy in the Arena at the O2. You could do it if you want to go that route. You've got a month to build it. It's
Yeah.
not like you don't have the time. But after that, they go to 2300 Arena for the month of the rest of August into September. And then mid-September, they come to London, Ontario for an episode of an episode of Dynamite. And then All Out is in Toronto. And I don't think they're going to reconstruct the seating map in Toronto for All Out because they've already sold the stuff on the bottom tier. So the bottom seating areas, the floor seats. You'd have to eliminate a bunch of seats. And I don't think they love shooting the 2-ring circus that much. I think they're much happier doing 1 ring and just doing, 2 rings when it makes sense or when they have the building for it.
I could see them doing Anarchy in their arena instead of Blood and Guts based on venues and upcoming things of that such. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. But I do like that they're building towards that, and they've clearly got a good number of women to pull this off with. And there's been a lot of stories with these women as well. Basically, since Thekla came in, a lot of this started. I know she took out Hayter, and Hayter's still injured for the time being. But after that, she kind of jumped into things with Queen Amanada, and Amanada is obviously part of all of this. And then Julia and Sky got pulled in, and Megan and Penelope had been kind of feuding with Anna and Ty, and we'll see if Harley Cameron gets cleared. So these have been some long-standing stories with these women. So it culminating in a Blood and Guts or Anarchy in the Arena is good stuff. Good stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
they should do the triple cage. Oh,
I'm
are
all
you
about
kidding
it.
me?
I'm all about it. Tenders is saying Collision might be the best weekly wrestling show. Hey, if you're enjoying it, I think it's been strong lately. I think last night's episode was very good in a lot of ways. And yeah, when they have cohesive storylines and they're building towards things, I'm a big fan. And last night they were doing just that. There was very little that I didn't enjoy on the show. Even the stuff with Shane Taylor Promotions, like. I thought it was stupid that Don Callis was like, "Hey, you want your money? Go do another job for me, and maybe I'll pay you." And Shane Taylor being like, "Okay," like that part was a little silly, but like at least they used it as a way to get to a match. So like there are little things that make no sense, but at least they get you to the ring. Stuff like that would work. But yeah, then we get to the stuff with Darby and Mox, and I thought that was really well done. I put over the cinematic effect that they used. They played with the light really well when they were up in the catwalk. So the show opened up as they're running down the card. Yuta yeets a security guard, and Moxley starts his promo, and he's in the ring. Darby shows up, Sting Darby, and he's standing in the crowd on the balcony, and then he just walks away from Mox mid-sentence and makes Mox chase after him. And I liked that they were doing that. He's just being like, "Come on, cat and mouse game." That was the through line of the show. They get rid of Darby Darby gets rid of Yuta and Marina Shafir in like a random closet up on the catwalk, and then he basically chloroforms Moxley with a rag and pulls him into the shadows. And this was one shot that I really liked, was just pulling him into the shadows. You couldn't see where they went. It was just dark, pitch black, and the camera work was great. And the next thing you know, they're going out into the train yards behind the building, I guess, which I didn't expect there to be. And it's the middle of the day, which also kind of threw me off because it was not the middle of the day when Collision was on. It was still, maybe it was.
It's still light because it was only that
would've been 8
segment
o'clock
happened.
there.
It was about 8:30. It's still light out at 8:30.
Okay, I guess so. I just saw it and I was just like, why is it 4 o'clock there? But it looked like 4 o'clock to me. Anyway, the security comes and separates them, and like they're doing really good stuff getting you to the Darby and Mox story. And those two guys have a lot of potential as well because they're willing to absolutely destroy each other. I liked it.
I'm so excited for this match. They're gonna do the dumbest shit in the world in this match.
Someone asked, what stupid thing are they going to jump off of?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a couple weeks ago where Darby is just like standing in the rafters or standing on the balcony and everything. I was like, he's got to be so pissed that he can't jump off this thing. He's like, I've been back for 2 weeks and you haven't let me like take any type of bump. He's just going to bump for the hell of it because he misses it. And then he, of course, jumps off the balcony on Dynamite. It's like, yeah, there we go. Now he's feeling it. And then here, trying to toss Moxley off the fire escape onto a train. Like, yeah, oh, Moxley loves this shit too. We saw a Texas death match. Fork to the head, landing on spikes. Moxley doesn't care. They're going to try to murder each other at every single arena. It's going to rule. I can't wait until they get to Cleveland next week. They don't really have to try that hard. Moxley's just going to be like, you're in Cleveland. You're close to death as it is. That's just what Cleveland will do to you. It's going to be so great. I can't wait for this match. I'm looking forward to this feud. But man, two guys just like trying to kill each other and both willing participants in attempted murder. It's going to bring some good stuff. You know, I'm a murder
Junkie.
junkie, yeah, a little bit, but I should be consulted for murder for these episodes. By the way, I should be able to scout the arena. Be like, what if we did this here? Scout the locations around the arena. You know, what if we did this here? Jose, I'm a few miles from Cleveland. It's fine. Let me get my jokes in about Ohio.
Careful. I just I don't want you winding up on a list for the things you're saying right now.
Yeah, true.
There are lots of lists you could be on. This is
Yeah.
not one of them. You should be on.
Yeah.
Oh man, go ahead.
I just can't wait for this. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I wonder when they're going to do the payoff for this match. Could be Forbidden Door. They could stretch it out to Toronto. I don't know how far they want to go with it. They could do it. You know what? There's part of me that wouldn't doubt that they do it at 2300 Arena because, you know, they'll call it the House of Hardcore, the house that Hardcore built, and Darby and Mox will want to pay homage to ECW with that. Tony would love that. He would, you know, he would talk about it for hours if he could in a press call. You know, he'll tell you all about ECW and how his dad took him to a show
Yes,
and
he
Chris
will.
Jericho was there and so on and so forth. He got giddy over the idea of talking about that. So maybe they do it all the way to Philadelphia. Maybe that's the opener at 2300 Arena. That's like the big homage on the first night at the venue. It could be fun. There was something that I saw. It was Pile Driver saying, they said that some of the stuff was mentioned earlier in the show. If they said that the Moxley and Darby stuff outside happened earlier in the show, then that would completely throw off the timeline of the entire show.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
everything
that
else, it started live on the show,
Yeah.
and then they carried it live to the kidnapping. So for them to say, "Oh no, the kidnapping happened afterwards," unless he found no, because the cloth was around his face.
Again,
No.
this segment happened about 8:00 local time. Maybe between 8 and 8:30 local time. It's still light out. It's still summer. Everybody, check outside at 8:00 if you're in the U.S. Check outside at 8:00 today for wherever you're at.
Louis, I need
It's still
photos.
light.
We need photos from Louis in the Discord. What
go.
Chicago looks like, or your area looks like.
It's still light out. Like, no, there's no that. If Shivani said that happened earlier in the day, he's wrong.
He was having a rough night.
Shivani's been rough. I love
guy.
Tony Schiavone, but it's
He's
not
83
great.
years old.
It's a little rough, old Tony. Bless him, but hadn't been great. Yeah, sun goes down at like 9 or so nowadays.
Yeah, 8:45 where I am, Eastern time.
So, again, it'll be fine. It was light out when I watched, says Louis. See, it's light, everybody. Let's not trying to make this into something. What are we doing? ITW investigates the sun.
We're gonna do a flat Earth gimmick. I don't want to do a flat
Definitely
Earth
not doing
gimmick.
that.
Oh God.
Definitely not doing that.
What else? Other than the main event? Oh, Billy Gunn's going home. Yeah,
Fuck, that sucked.
that was great. I love it. Billy's like, "Oh, you don't love me. You don't appreciate me, so I'm going home." And I'm like, "Great, don't come back. Don't come back." Bowens is like, "I busted the slump. I am the slump buster. I have done all the busting of the slump, but you weren't there for me." And Billy's like, "I'm going home." I don't want them to turn Anthony Bowens, but it feels like they're just gonna. They could bring Billy back and just have him team up with Caster again and just transfer it over, and then Bowens has to build himself again. It's just that's one of the stories where I'm just like, all right, sure, here we are.
I thought Bowens was gonna save Caster during that beatdown last night, and then it just ended up being Jet Speed Fox. Yeah, I thought Bowens was gonna come out and save him, Max Caster got this thing over. Him, like,
He did.
putting his arm up like he won after getting his ass beat by Roosh. It's so good.
So stupid, but so funny. And then like Roosh not knowing how to read a clock.
I was like, is Roosh, was he supposed to win and he just forgot that the time was a thing?
It's such a thing for him. No, because then they did the beatdown and the
Yeah, I know. Once they did the beatdown and stuff, but like he's setting up in the corner as they're counting down like 10. And I'm like, you gotta hurry, dude, if you're gonna like do this by like the buzzer here. And then he just kept like posing and everything. I was like, okay, did he just forget? Like, is he just, yeah, but once they did the post-show or post-match angle, it's like, no, that was the plan. But as it was going, I was like, dude, did you forget what the gimmick is? I was very concerned for Roosh, and that was concerned for Max Caster. He has ass beat.
My note when I was doing the match notes for last night was 2 men playing with each other's food while being aggressive assholes. That was the 5-minute match that they had, where they're just running around each other, trying to beat each other up, and then just jaw-jacking around it. It was fun. It was silly. And like you said, the end where Max lifts his hand while he's on the floor, or while he's on his back. I thought that was very funny, very silly. So yeah. Good stuff. Again, there was a lot of solid stuff. The main event, the TNT title, Chicago Street Fight. Kyle Fletcher captures the title over Dustin Rhodes. Dustin coming out to his original Natural theme from WCW was a nice kick.
They call him the Natural.
And meanwhile, Kyle Fletcher can't come out in pink jeans. Like, come on, pink jeans exist. Why did you come out in your gear? You got tainted.
Yeah, the gear was. Somebody's got to get on Fletcher, and
I think that was kind of part of the getting heat on the heel type of thing, which is like the heel kind of cocky idiot. I don't need this, but like he should be wearing something. Assless chaps. Who knows? pink chaps and his gear. I don't know, something. Pink jeans though, man.
That was a great match though. Like, really,
fantastic.
Really great.
Yeah.
The Iron Claw with the thumbtack glove, that looked like it sucked. Obviously the dick kick with the thumbtacks, that was like, Shivani was annoying me during this match. Just the stuff he was calling where he's like, he's gonna slap him with the glove. Like, wait, what are you talking about? He's associated with the Von Erichs. He's gonna use the claw. He's not gonna slap him, although slap would have been a very effective move. Like, Shivani's sometimes on the call with this one. I was like, come on Tony, come on. My favorite part of this match was Kyle Fletcher yelling at Don Callis after Don gave him the screwdriver and he hit him with it. And then Don goes back to commentary and Fletcher's like, Don, get over here. Don, come on. And then Callis will run back around to hold Dustin's arms and everything. I was like, did Callis just forget what he was supposed to do in that moment? That he was going to continue to help Kyle Fletcher because he went back to commentary. It was so funny. Bless him. Yeah, it was good, but it was a great match though. Absolutely great match.
Yeah, my one little kind of why do we do this when they're doing the knee screwdriver spot, and again commentary's like, oh, it's gushing blood, and there's nothing to be seen.
Yeah, there was a little bit of red on like the bandana, but
yeah, I was like, can we maybe just pull it back a little bit when you do that? The overselling of the spot was a little bit hokey, and I get it. I get why they were trying to sell the moment, but it got a little hokey. So yeah, like Volib's saying, call what you see. Don't just make it up and for the effect. But either way, the match was great. I'm not going to let that take away from the fact that like they went all out, and they did exactly what you had talked about and what we expected, and that was Dustin Rhodes carries the title through the residency, and on the last night of the residency, they have a bang up final finale of a match, and calling it a Chicago Street Fight. That's why I keep going back to the whole Darby and Mox thing, where you can go to Philly, have an homage to hardcore, and get away with it because of your location. They did a good job during this residency of making the building a part of the show and making the fans feel invested in where they were and the types of matches they were seeing. They did a good job of using those 2 weeks, 3 weeks of having stories in the confined area. I thought that was strong, and it was a strong finale for them in Chicago.
Yeah, it was a great match. It was a good way to end the residency. Kyle Fletcher winning should not shock many people. They did great with the near falls, though. I thought Dustin had him, especially after the dick kick And then the roll up when Fletcher was going for the brain buster before he finally hit it. Like they did a good job on the near falls, and they've obviously Dustin's got built-in equity because he's Dustin Rhodes, but just having this short little reign gave him a little extra equity as well, and that was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Ten Ruza saying TK better got Lena Cross signed after. So Lena Cross showing up on Collision opened up a few questions. We had reported on Fightful Select that there's interest from TNA. At one point, they were talking about signing or putting forth actions to try to sign Lena Cross. Lena's moved stateside. She's asked TNA talent for advice, and clearly she's still available because while she worked the tapings last week in Rhode Island, she is still available to work other tapings as she did last night. She got squashed by Chris Statlander, who she had a new submission, which is the one that's used by Suzumi in Tokyo Joshi Pro. It's called the Hashinosu 8 knots. So there you go. Yeah, you think I don't know? I know.
Good job.
I know things.
Okay.
I get it. I remember these things. It was also in my notes. But yeah, Statlander had a great showing, and Lena did too. Listen, it was a quick squash match. You'll see her if you watch TNA and you see the Lena Cross stuff. Again, she's solid. She knows how to work. She knows how to do it. She's now in the States. Where she signs, where she lands, well, that's up to where she chooses once she has the offers.
It was surprising to see her show up after the report, and it looked like she might be going to TNA, which is still possible. You know, just Tony decided to use her for this spot. I don't think maybe she's gonna get signed. It's tough because obviously AEW is the better and bigger company, although this time next year it'll be a different conversation. But I don't exactly know where she fits in AEW at the moment. Like, they got a lot of talented women, and we saw them all being showcased like right after this match, because then Willow comes out, Willow Theka, and then we talked about everything. So like, where does she fit in AEW? Where TNA, there's a more direct path of, yeah, they need any help they can get with the women's division.
The thing is, they do and they don't, because they're doing the stuff with Indy Hartwell. They've got the stuff with Marsha Day. They're starting to rebuild their knockouts division slowly. That's not a knock at Lena, but AEW has, at least they have some wrestlers who are down with injury. That's one thing in the women's division. So bringing her back on PPA for AEW for the time being could be lucrative. And then eventually Lena signing with TNA, if that's where she wants to go, could make sense after she sees what they're doing for Indy and for Mara. That was another thing. They did a video package for Mara Sade, doing an introductory package. I thought it was really good, but they also kind of ripped off with the one that they did for Indy Hartwell. They just made it more like Mara history. But then they were like, I love the knockouts division, going back to Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. It was like, we're telling you what to say about our division to get it over. And it's like, we can probably not do that again. And it was like, I'm going to break out. I'm going to be the next big thing. And I'm like, Indy just did this 2 months ago. Why are we still doing this again? But it was effective. It just felt a little familiar. TNA is recycling a few different tropes this week, because they did the Sami Callihan's going to retire if he doesn't win a match.
What?
Yeah, he's teasing retiring. If he's gonna face Mike Santana at Emergence, and if he loses, he might just hang it up. And I'm like, oh, we just did this. Hometown Man is a guy now, so there's that. Lena's good friends with Steph Delander and Indy Hartwell. Well, that's probably going back to the idea of she's talking to talent. Those are probably two talent that she might be consulting for advice. What should I do? The freedom is there on both sides if you want to do extracurriculars, whatever those are. Half of the TNA knockouts division have some form of OnlyFans, and they get a lot of money through that, and they still get to work TNA through that. With AEW, it's, there are other projects that they work on, so it comes down to what they want to do and where they want to go.
Yeah, whatever makes her happy, whatever she feels is the best fit. I'm looking at it from a where does she fit in type of thing. She could easily work ROH for AEW, because that division isn't going anywhere.
Or is it?
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, it's probably not going anywhere. Is there anything else from Collision that we didn't cover? I guess the tag tournament has moved forward. Brodito That was a hell of a finisher that they're doing.
Brodito and the Bucks. It's gonna
gonna
be
be
a lot
fun.
of fun. Yeah.
One thing I liked about doing Brodito and GOA was that Bandito was the small guy in the match. And he just got beat up for most of it, but then they got to let him get those high flyers in. The finisher was Bandito's getting a monkey flip 360 splash. And I'm like, that doesn't look as impactful, but it kind of is at the same time. So, like, I don't mind it. It's a cool tandem offense victory. But no, Brodito getting the win made sense. Like you said, they got the Young Bucks next. So who knows? Who knows what that's going to look like? But I thought the match with GOA was really good. Chemistry was good. It was a fun match between those two teams. Why is he here?
That's not nice.
I'm just kidding. I know why he's here, because he's got a really great feature that just went up, all about the women's heavyweight champion over in WWE, and that's Naomi. I want to put him over. We call him Cam by Elegance. Oh wait,
Cam by Elegance. I love that. I'm wearing my little tank top. I love this.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong. That was a conversation from earlier. My bad.
Wow.
That's
Hi,
our other.
guys.
Hi.
How are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing lovely. Why are you staring at me like that? Look at those big brown eyes.
He loves you so much.
Oh my god. Yeah. Hi. It's been a while, guys. How's everything?
Oh, you know. For some reason, I thought you were in New York.
Shit. I've been asked if I was in New York. I was like, guys, you don't understand how Dallas like drained like my social battle. I love you all. I want you all to have fun. I don't really want to see you or be around you.
Fair.
There's no way around that. We have we're doing a watch party for night one of SummerSlam. Like a big public one with hookah. Apparently, I got to work on my life. Like, why are we having a watch party at a place that has hookah? Am I wrestling Joe Budden now? Like, what are we doing? But that's happening. And then I think night two, I'm just going to invite the fellas over to, kind of hang out and do that. Like last night was kind of the offshoot of Wale Mania. Kaz and Andrea and Shoes and Ben and everybody through that, the special guests were Bret Hart and Action Bronson. Because, that doesn't get much better than that, right?
Nice.
But that looked really, really fun. Like a good time. But, I don't have FOMO. I'm like, guys, I'm glad you had fun. No. So, of course, I want to talk about the Naomi thing, but first,
Go on.
I get accused of being some type of WWE Homer. Fed Hawk is the name that Phil gave me affectionately. So, like, I think it's more along the lines of every single thing is not for me to be outraged about or comment on or go back and forth with, because who has that much time? Nobody with a job. But, however, with all those things said, at any point in his life, has Triple H been a certified personal trainer?
Oh boy. No. I don't know if he's been a certified personal trainer. He does training though.
Yeah, he's a fitness competitor.
Yeah.
He has worked with trainers.
He's worked with trainers. Yeah, he works with a lot of personal trainers.
Has he ever taken a human nutrition class?
Well,
Cameron.
They're sponsored by Slim Jim.
Yeah.
And
Wingstop.
Prime.
Yeah, Prime. Well, you get your bone. Listen, Cameron, not to get too political, but just take a look around.
Listen, if I was assembling an all-star team, can you imagine? This is a movie script, right?
Yeah.
My team that is here to promote the overall nutrition and fitness of the youth, RFK Jr., Triple H, and Lawrence Taylor.
They
And
got
listen,
like
of these people, Triple H is like the least crazy pick, but also like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like it's like, to his credit, being in the business he was in for so long, was in it and around the right people enough to get in a position of power and like be successful. Cool, great, whatever. Dog, we're talking about like in no way, shape, or form could like anybody other than evil villain president put Lawrence Taylor in charge of the well-being of children. I don't know if legally you can do that. I'm alluding to a thing that I'm sure Jeremy knows about. Joel, I know you don't follow American football too much. Lawrence Taylor went to prison.
Oh no, I
Kim.
heard about this one.
Minors.
I heard about that.
Kim. Let's be honest. Between the three, they got like one brain between them. That's
And again, the only one I know that has
and Triple H has that whole brain. And
he's the one who hasn't committed crimes that we know of, or like also hasn't like said something so outrageous out of his mouth. You wonder how he's allowed to exist like in regular society. He's the one. But again, I don't know. I've never seen Triple H run the mile.
he runs the ropes, you know? That's something.
I mean, not lately. You
Yeah,
see
not
that heart
lately.
condition? Anyway.
Yeah.
It is just mind numbing. Those like they're laughing in our faces.
Cam,
Yeah.
Cam, there's only one all-star that the president knows about, and this is it.
You could have went. You could have thrown Malcolm a bone with the Waffle House All Star. But yes, that was. Sometimes you just stare at the screen, man. Sometimes you just stare at the screen.
Sometimes you just get up and walk out of the room after that.
Yeah. That is just okay. So yeah,
Let's talk about good
SummerSlam.
things. Yeah.
That's a thing. That's happening.
It's a 2-night thing.
2 nights.
Yeah.
3 if you count tonight's SmackDown.
That's not SummerSlam.
I mean, for someone, it's their SummerSlam. Some people got priced out of the venue, so this is their SummerSlam.
No, I just mean there's no way I'm watching.
Oh, I'm not either.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I will catch the replays, by which I mean the social videos.
That's a lot of. I said back in April, like how much of a heat check WrestleMania is. This is a crazy heat check, and apparently, like it's doing well. Like they're gonna do like 50,000 a night. You know, it's still SummerSlam. It's still the New York area. They got Cardi B hosting. Like all those things are, and they have like some strong matches. You get your WrestleMania rematch with Cody and Cena. I think that I'm really curious about Punk and Gunther. How that pans out. You're getting an insane TLC match, right? We'll see if I'm curious how well Jade does. That's a long conversation I had with somebody over the weekend about how that's going to go. Of course, like when I wrote the Naomi thing, one thing I made sure to include was how she interrupted what was kind of an instant clap with Rhea and Io. So to see if, and I never, very rarely do I think a triple threat match can produce better than a one-on-one match, just the dynamics of what they are. But I'm very curious to see like how they work that and how that goes. I think that could be really fun. So yeah, I mean it's for the parts I stay awake for, it's gonna be really, really cool. What time does SummerSlam start on
I
Saturday?
think 6.
Yeah, I think they're doing a 6 o'clock
Yeah. I think
6
it's actually
p.m.
6.
Eastern?
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern.
That's
So-
early for you. You'll be flying.
The guy who I do my watch parties with my man DJ Heliella. He's throwing a pool party before the watch party. And I was like, well, and I went last weekend. I was like, well, maybe I can go for a little bit. I don't think that. I do not have the battery. No, absolutely not.
Plus, the
6.
shows are going to go late anyway.
Yeah, it's like what,
I feel
5
like
to
it'll-
9? Like,
It'll
yeah.
probably be done they'll probably wrap by 10. It'll be a 4-hour show.
They want to learn from the last time they ran MetLife. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the last time wasn't Cena Rock, right?
No, it was
No.
35. It was the
Yeah, it
triple
was
threat.
35, Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the Cena Rock one. Was that 27?
28.
28?
28.
It like
No,
rained.
no,
It was
29,
cold.
29.
29. It rained and it was cold. Like, it was the worst. And then there was like, that was the first time there was that big traffic issue where we're just kind of stuck in Jersey. Yeah, no. Ooh.
Yeah, I think they want to rep by 10. That's 10 hours. That's 4 hours. The pacing on Evolution was really good. And I hope they learned from that on how to pace these shows, and hey, you can do more matches and still get everything done in a feasible amount of time. So hopefully, I'm hoping they wrap by 10. I don't need to go until 11, and then Triple H does his press conference where he talks for 20 minutes just about how great he is, and then another 30 minutes about how great the card is. Probably flip those, honestly. I don't need all that. I don't need press conference going until 1 o'clock in the morning. Stop it.
I think just touching on the Naomi thing. One, it's easy to write about somebody who, like, you've been around a lot. You know, she was the guest of honor at Wale Mania in LA. She played a big role in Wale Mania this year. So I've kind of been like, you know, hanging around her for a while. She's great and bubbly and perfect and wonderful. She's amazing. And the thing you forget is just how long she's been doing this. Like, she's been with WWE since 2009. Of course, there's like a 2-year gap, but 2009, like right when I was barely out of college. Like, she's been there forever. You know, had everybody's love and respect, and only had, you know, positive and interesting things to say about her experience. It's funny. She kind of brought up when they walked out, and I was like, so about that? And she was like, no. I was like, okay. Fair game. And you know, I wasn't gonna like dive too deep into it. It was more a mindset and how you felt after, but that kind of answered itself. You know, very adamant about wanting to get back to WWE. Really appreciated her time in TNA. And listen, man, I don't know if you want that to be your biggest compliment, but the Bobby Lashleys and the Drew McIntyres and the LA Knights and now the Naomis have all told me how important that was to their development. Getting that time in TNA, being around those people in TNA, like that locker room in TNA, and just how positive it was to get them to the places they need to be. And I think, you know, creatively for 3 of them, professionally for probably all 4, because, you know, actually he got his money. He's good. You know, they're probably in the best position they've been in. And so salute to them for that. It was nice to hear that, especially as we're watching, like, will they, won't they with TNA, right? Like, come on, Mike Santana. Like, tricks my man, but get him out the paint.
Please don't trigger me.
Apologies.
No, it's fine. I already went on a rant earlier. Total nonstop apathy is where we're headed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, nothing wrong with winning the title in Boston.
Yeah,
There's a lot wrong.
Big Bo Sox fan, that Mike Santana from the Bronx.
Oh my! When he comes out in the navy and red with the white trim, it's gonna be great. Gray socks, it's gonna be great. Can't.
Yeah, don't worry, the heat's back, brother.
He's gonna cut his hair just like Nomar Garcia-Parra. It's gonna be amazing.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer's gonna be
There's
out.
a blast
Have you
from
ever
the
thought of
past.
doing
No
like
more
a
Garcia
double?
Parra.
I was just watching because I think the reason that he came up most recently, all these baseball trades, you know, and then getting rid of him Actually, like, ultimately worked out. Just really quickly, I just found out that Hank Aaron created the high five. And, like, I guess it's one of those things that everybody knows that I just didn't know.
It's
Like,
him and Dusty Baker. Yeah.
no, it was Dusty Baker, not Hank Aaron.
Yeah, Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker and another guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I know it because I watched the Fantastic Four, and somehow in a Easter egg video, they explained that those two came up with the high five. Because there's not a high five in the movie, because high five doesn't exist. Yeah, you should go watch Fantastic Four and Superman. It's a very good movie, summer for superhero movies. Really good stuff. But yeah, stopping by, saying hi. We have an extensive amount of features and pieces and op-eds covering Hulk Hogan passing. Because
You did yours last week.
Yeah.
no, I didn't.
I mean,
Well, on
you
this
guys.
show.
With you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, but they did a lot of good work over there. But we also have a lot of really good SummerSlam coverage. A lot of guys from a lot of different angles covering SummerSlam. Again, salute to Naomi. I think doing some of the best work in her career. A lot of people congratulated me on finding a way to compliment Naomi and diss John Cena in the same piece. My biggest thing was I didn't think it was a diss. I just think that when the Cena thing works, it's because of the Randy Ortons and the CM Punks of the world, who he has that history with, who he can play off of certain aspects. And when he's just out there trying to freestyle it about how the audience should feel, it falls flat. Whereas Naomi is leaning into a lack of respect and a lack of appreciation from the people around her based on the story that exists. How dare she? But yeah, man, salute to her. Appreciate her time, appreciate her story. And appreciate that for the second month in a row, 2 out of the last 3 pieces are somebody shouting out how important jazz was to their development. And that's a beautiful thing. She's been getting her flowers a lot here in 2025. And just, I hope I get to sit down and talk to her one day, because salute to her for the things she's done. So, yeah.
well, all you got to do is talk to TNA. Good luck with that.
Impossible to get over there. But
Well,
the baby wants to go outside, and I'm going to let him. Guys, have an excellent Friday, excellent SummerSlam weekend. Always good to talk to you. Again, what does Triple H know about nutrition? All right.
words to ponder on a Friday. Tenders are adding. Anyone else want to spit water at the White House? Feel how you will.
Our country
It's so
sucks.
silly. It was so incredibly silly.
Our country absolutely sucks.
God bless Cam Hawkins coming on here just to have those wise words, something to think about going into your weekends.
We appreciate Cam.
Absolutely. SummerSlam is this weekend. 6 matches on each side of the card. 6 p.m. start. You think it'll be done by 10 o'clock, Matt, or is 9 o'clock? You said. Did you freeze on me? Oh no, you're back.
No.
I think it'll be done by 10. I think I get 10 Eastern. These 4-hour shows. Are you getting replies?
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Should I read it on here?
I'm gonna let you make the executive decision about that.
I'll read it on there. That's fine.
All right. You read it and you deemed it appropriate.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry this interview opportunity did not work out. You were not ignored, not at all. When the interviews were offered this week to Sean, they were for Sean. No problem that he passed the interview to you and your show. Hope you know how much I enjoy your show. But you were not ignored, and you were never offered all 3. Sean also would not have gotten all 3. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Happy to arrange another TNA interview for your show if you want at some point.
Just does not listen, does not understand, does not pay attention.
I was like, Sean wouldn't have gotten all 3 either. It's like, okay.
Sean wouldn't have asked for all 3. Sean would have done exactly what you did and say, this is my availability.
Yeah.
Plug me in based on such.
Yeah.
Such an obnoxious. And by the way, what did I tell you? So we'll pull back the curtain a little bit more. When yesterday morning you said, we were asked, have you heard back yet? And Jeremy said no. I replied to our group chat. I said, yeah, he probably didn't reply because it didn't come from Sean.
Yeah. Oh, I figured
what
that.
This was. I know.
Yeah, I figured that.
And that's the thing. Like, he's not. Okay, so again, the email did originally go to Sean. Sean passed them to us because guess what? We are a team at Fightful. We do this as a team. We were the ones interviewing TNA talent for the last 3 years when Sean was doing a lot of other interviews because I was your TNA guy. And then here we are. They started just giving them off to Sean instead, which is, again, it's fine. And nobody's upset or complaining about it, but it looks a certain way, all because of, a singular incident that happened last year to me. And it's been the silly same shit where it's like, oh no, we like you. And it's like, but you don't. You threw me a bone in Vegas because you had an opening, and that's it.
Here's more annoyance. Chris Weaver interview. We did that on the main channel.
Yep.
Probably not breaking news, but for those who might not get it, they offered that to Sean. Sean had travel. It unfortunately didn't work out, but he messaged me on Tuesday and was like, hey, do you want to do this Chris Weaver interview on Thursday? Are you cool to do it? And I didn't have a time or anything. I was just like, Chris Weaver on Thursday, can you do this? I was like, yeah, just let me know when. And then he got back to me. It was like 2:00. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I think he got back maybe Wednesday. I was like, all right, cool. Regardless, this was all coordinated with plenty of notice and plenty of heads up, because that's how it should work. All right, if Sean gets offered something, it's not the first time I've done an interview because Sean couldn't. It probably won't be the last time. But when working with other promotions or agencies or platforms, there's more than 12-hour notice in trying to coordinate things. There's more than 30-minute notice when trying to coordinate things. We responded in plenty of time to try to get something set up. You could have responded to me yesterday about Ash by Elegance and be like, hey, Matt and Nick don't have the availability anymore. How about Ash tomorrow at 11? And then we would have coordinated from there. Then it would have been like, hey, our show is live at 11.
Which he's aware of, by the way.
Yeah. Like, our show's live at 11. We'd love to have her live on our show. Can that work out? And then we would have gone from there. That could have all been handled yesterday. You did it 30 minutes before the scheduled interview after not replying to my email yesterday. There's just a way to go about things. It's fine that Sean's offered the interviews. I have no issue with that. It's fine that Sean passes it to us. But when we reply and then go a whole day and you don't reply, feels like we're being ignored on that. So don't tell me you were not ignored and then
proceed to ignore me.
Then went a whole day without replying and then try to set something up 30 minutes beforehand.
Boy, I love it when PR gaslights us. You weren't ignored, and I love your show that I never watch unless I have to give you talent to interview on our show. Ridiculous. Anyway, we're still here. We're still clear. We don't want any more bears. Can't believe these people. Anyway,
Ask for Mike Santana interview live at 10:30 on Wednesday. Let's see if PR indeed likes the show.
And so this is the thing. When I used to do this with him, I would I would send an email on like Sunday or Monday, be like, knowing that there's a plus show coming up or something, or a pay-per-view. They'd be like, hey, putting out, requests for media. If you have anyone available to us, this is when our show runs. This is how we do it. But like, I give them all the details, and I just say that what's available. And either and 99% of the time up until last year, I would get these people are available these times. And I would say, okay, to the point where they were reaching out to us when they were doing re-signings for rebranded TNA, and we were doing announcements for re-signings, and we were interviewing talent who had just re-signed, all the nine. We became those people. And I don't want this to sound like you're upset that they don't come to you as much. This isn't pick me, believe me. They've done enough picking of people that I don't care. What I care about is being told, we like you, we like you, we like you, when clearly you don't give a shit about us. But you want to play nice, but you're not playing nice at all by being an asshole and gaslighting us. So it used to be that I could reach out and be like, hey, what's going on? And then the one last time I tried it, and they're like, nothing available. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not doing this again. Because I already know what we're doing, what game we're playing, and I'm not here to play it. It's not worth my time. It's not worth the effort. There are plenty of other wrestlers who will easily come with us. Like I said, I was invited to, and I am going to C4 and Greektown, who will have TNA talent on their card. And you bet your sweet ass that if they will talk to me, I will be talking to them, and that'll be a problem for someone later to deal with. I don't care. So, yeah, that's where we're at. When I'm invited somewhere to do my job, I will happily do it. When I'm gaslit into, we were thinking about you, but we didn't call you, I ain't got time for that. Too old for that shit.
It's just annoying. But
can't wait to ask Big Bill Collier about his TNA deal when I go to Greektown next 2 weeks from now. SummerSlam is this weekend. 6 p.m. start time. They'll probably finish by 10 p.m. Eastern both nights. They'll be out of the building by 11:45. You'll be happy. They'll be good.
I hope so.
When's the last bus leave MetLife?
I don't know. I have to check on that.
Drew, go literally to the very top of the show. First thing I said, baby.
Yeah.
It's King Potato saying, I see TNA's reputation precedes them. It's one person that completely messes it up for the bunch. That's really what it comes down to. Oh, man.
The thing, I don't want it to be on the talent because I've had very nice conversations with Matt Hardy.
Yes.
John Alba's been on this show multiple times. We love John. I could probably easily message John or message Matt directly, like, hey, you want to our show? They'd probably be agreeable to it. Like, yeah. We like Fightful. Again, Matt, he probably does no clue. He doesn't remember me at all. Maybe he does, but I could easily get that interview through John Alba. It's not, I'm not saying it's difficult, but there are means to do this stuff. We like to try to keep everything in order. I've told the Blake Christian story, and I easily got that through Blake, but then I want to make sure it's cleared with the right people, because I don't like just, hey, go around your company. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble here. I want to do things by the up and up and make sure everyone's good. But then I expect that in return. And we don't get it in return. And that's frustrating.
So fuck them! Yay! Oh, man. Tenders is saying the universe clearly doesn't want me to continue with TNA. The money is keeping me. That is one, because the site does pay me to review the show. And listen, last night was more because we had the Collision post show too. We had to do both. Yeah. So we'll go from there.
All right, SummerSlam. What's your, if you have one, maybe you don't have one. Do you got a bold prediction for the SummerSlam?
Oh, bold prediction.
Yeah.
I think there's a world where John Cena retains the title.
Oh, okay.
I know that you had, or was it?
It was definitely me. You know,
was it?
Jensen
No. It was Jensen shot all over the turn because you had mentioned the idea of Cody turning. Yeah. I'm not going that far. I don't think it's that far. I could see a world where John Cena retains. They continue the story of John Cena's heel turn. Maybe they find a way to turn the corner. It's a street fight. You got to do schmaz. I mentioned it last week. You could have a bunch of people show up from the past. I know some people have teased the idea of having Seth cash in. I think that's more of a night one thing with Punk and Gunther. The story's been that. You could swerve them. You could, but I just don't see I don't see a reason to do it because I feel like WrestleMania next year, you're doing Punk and Seth on one side for possibly for the world title, and then Sammy maybe going for the big guns. Or, but again, it's you still got months and months and months to go. But yeah, I can see John Cena retaining in the street fight. Maybe some new friends join him, and then Cody's got to continue the chase. Because I know Cody's chase hasn't always been the strongest, but I don't think you need to, I don't think his championship run was always the strongest either. So you could keep going with John. He can still be a part-time champion where Cody runs the show, and then you continue the build with someone like Jacob Fatu, who could be on the rise. That's another good one. I think Solo could easily retain the. I think he should retain the U.S. title because there's more that you can do with Solo as U.S. champion while you build Jacob Fatu into the main event scene. So that's the other side of things. But yeah, John Cena retaining, that's kind of my one bold, high possibility of happening.
Okay.
Do you have anyone other than what you said yesterday? Which you could still rehash because not everyone listens to both shows.
My bold and I feel I'm being super bold and not realistic, but John Cena wins. He doesn't. They have a clean street fight. Yeah, oxymoron. John Cena just wins, and then they shake hands. Cody's like, "Good to have the hustle, loyalty, respect." John Cena back, and then Cody kicks John Cena in the dick, and Cody is a heel, and Steven Jensen cries.
We need a WWE reacts where Cody turns and you've got him just crying with all of his Cody stuff behind him. Why, Cody? Why? You were a wrestling champion. Anyone who kicks anyone in the dick is a babyface in my world, so that's still a Cody babyface turn.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is. I like the way. Okay, so this is such a small thing that I really appreciated. The Cross stuff. Cross and Sammy have their match, and just by sheer fact that Cross is telling everyone that he hasn't resigned, and Sammy is still on his way up. There's enough here to give just this plausible deniability that Cross has resigned. The idea that like Cross could lose and this could be his swan song. Cross could lose and he continues doing whatever on TV and he's resigned. Cross could win and he's out the door and he played nice on the way out, which is kind of my least likely scenario. Cross could win and he has resigned and he continues while Sammy also continues. I don't see Cross winning, but I like the idea that like with the loss, he hasn't really tipped his hand at all. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out of that. And I give it to Karrion Kross, who has been very close to the vest with his situation in WWE, while also telling a very good story with Sami Zayn, who has been trying not to be the evil guy that everyone wants or that Kross wants him to be. It's great.
I think Sammy's going to win and just win cleanly.
It's possible. Well, the idea of using the pipe comes into play, where Sammy eventually uses the pipe on Kross. Referee doesn't see it, counts to 3, and then Kross says, you know, I was wrong, but you also were wrong. Like, we were both wrong. I'm dragging you to the depths of hell with me, despite your victory. I made you do this.
They're gonna do Sammy like looks at the pipe and then he's gonna look at his hands and like, oh,
why am I so evil?
The choice. And they're gonna do that whole gimmick and it's gonna be annoying because they run that into the ground. I hope it's a good match for Kross's sake. I hope it's a good match because he needs a good match. He needs something good out of here. I think he's re-signed or is close to re-signing. By the way, I had no inside information. Just doesn't feel like they're putting somebody in this spot if they aren't re-signed or close to re-signing. Because remember, that was the whole thing with Gable last year. Is Chad Gable going to re-sign? But they put him in like Intercontinental title matches. It's like, well, yeah. I don't know. It was last year, 2023. Time has no meaning.
Flat circle.
Yeah. And then come to find out, like, yeah, he did resign because they probably weren't going to put him in these spots if he did not resign. So that's how I feel with Cross as well.
Yeah, and I fully understand that. There's again, it's a very small part of me that says he's doing good business on the way out, but realistically, I could see him sticking around because he's done a really good job of making himself relevant on television. His character means something. He doesn't have to work every week to get over. He's not going after titles. He's going after influence. And I think that there is a place for a character like that on WWE television. So for him to be there and him to do that and have Scarlett there as well, it goes a long way. So for him, if I'm offered the bag, I'd stick around too, because I think he's in a good spot and he doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to take bumps unless he wants to. Like he goes out and does Bloodsport and has a great time, but like I'm sure he wants to be out there in front of crowds and doing stuff. But at the same time, you preserve your body. You've been doing this long enough, and you can work on other projects. So it's kind of a win-win. What's the over/under on back bumps for this match? I'm just playing.
They bumped in.
They did in Saudi. They did.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the prince said he'd decapitate Cross if he didn't.
Jesus.
Senra sent a super chat saying The Rock coming out with a returning Travis Scott. That is something that I would love to see. I would pay to see it. I don't even want to see this as like a surprise. I want The Rock in a fucking helicopter. Okay, I want The Rock to do a helicopter entrance with Travis Scott, and whether that's flying above the venue and coming down, or if he lands somewhere, I want to see helicopter Rock. Remember, like when they did when The Rock was a heel at first, and he would do
He's cooking.
He's cooking, and if you fly to that, I want that, but I want the helicopter to really be there this time. That's it. Travis Scott. Listen, they had half of the back half of Unreal was them saying Travis Scott is the best, and then they spent 3 weeks trashing Travis Scott. Like, this could be the new kayfabe for them, where like they spent time just bashing him, and then they did a Travis Scott. Like they could have recut Unreal, who knows? But they didn't. They made Travis Scott look good. He wants to ditch his rap career to do this, which is fine by me. And do that, and Fiend PTSD comes back.
So Cody does this interview with Bill Simmons, and he thinks everything is just a work, like everything. Montreal Screwjob work, Shawn Michaels like bumping for Hogan work. He just thinks everything is a work, and then he's talking about like the magic of. He said he hadn't seen Unreal to this point, which I believe. He's talking about like, well, they're talking about the Charlotte and Tiffany stuff because Bill Simmons had seen it, and Simmons is like, oh yeah, like things seem to like really get heated on then, and Cody's like, well, it was a work. What if it was a work? Like that's the beauty of it all. He just thinks it's all a work. It's amazing to watch in real time, like how his brain is working. So maybe the Travis Scott thing is just. It's all a work. And he is going to return. We think they've fallen out, but no. It's all a work. Everything's a work, Joel. Everything.
40 chess, baby. It's 40 chess. Yeah, there's some stuff that I'm curious about. They've got Charlotte and Alexa doing media today. They were on Media Row. R-Truth was also out there doing media this morning. So that's something. I guess he'll be on SmackDown tonight. Yeah. I guess the only other things that I'm really looking at are, Gunther and Punk. This is kind of the weird thing with the Seth Rollins stuff. He's either, okay, how can I put this? He's either injured and he's not going to come out, and that's that, for whatever time being, or it's a big old work and he's going to come out and he's going to cash in and he's okay again. And whatever his injury wasn't that bad. But if there is an injury there and he's just rehabbing it to get through long enough, like I do kind of think about how bad is it? And will you be okay to go as hard as you normally do given the state of an injury? Because if he's just covering up for something that's minor, then it would be a really strange situation for Seth to come in and push himself. The guy who has a history of having knee injuries, coming back just to do the SummerSlam spot. So I'm curious that whether or not he comes back is, maybe people have already blown the spot too much that they're going to hold off, or they're going to do the moment, because that's what WWE is about, right? SP3 calls them the moment merchants, and he's right. 99% of the time, WWE is working towards a moment like that, and that's their updated heist of the century. One 1/10 of a no 1/100th of a century later, 10 years later, this is it. It's not 10 years, is it? Yeah, it is 10 years. Yeah, 31. Yeah, so it could be that.
And we'll know a lot more about Seth after this weekend, because he's either going to return and then he's fine, or he's not going to return. And it's like, well, that's probably, that means he's probably out for a little bit. So I hope it's a work, just because I don't like people being injured and missing times, and I don't care if they did all of this just to work. Like, sure, whatever. If they think it helped, good on them. It doesn't. I don't care if I get worked, and I think they should in some ways do this a little bit more. That's something you gotta make sure your team is good with, and because you don't want to do that trick too many times, and then you lose the trust of the team. But to the fans, it's like, yeah, sure, we can work the fans. So I would rather a person not be injured than be injured.
Did you enjoy the show? So far, the show. Cardi B announced that SummerSlam got a whole lot louder and hotter. Excited to announce the exclusive WWE Cardi SummerSlam box sets are now live for the next 72 hours. So I guess it's her new album in a nice box and a t-shirt that comes with it. So have fun buying that. How much is it going to cost? Oh, wait, what? No, that's not right.
What?
Hold on. $40? I'll believe that.
That seems like a deal.
That seems like a deal.
Yeah, it says it's $40.
Yeah, $40.
You get a T-shirt and a CD for $40. The T-shirt usually costs just $40.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's why I was taken back. Like, really?
It says it's signed too. I mean, it looks like it's
I feel like
those.
it's like monogram sign.
Yeah, but
Auto pen, if you will.
right. But still, like, again, usually the CD or usually a T-shirt's gonna cost you $40. So this seems like a really good deal.
State of wrestling fans. I hate to announce the 3X is sold out. Sorry. I'm not out here to fat shame wrestling fans. It was just
sold out. It does say sold out.
It's sold out.
Yeah. Well, Joel, the other ones are not sold out. You know what they are, Joel?
What are they?
They are up and they up and is up and is up and is up and the dick is up and is up and is up and the pussy popping up and is up and is up and is up.
They are still up. That is true. That's a factual statement.
We gotta read some Cardi B lyrics here to close this show.
No, can we do the what is it? Oh my God, who was
WAP?
it? The WAP, but read by Gilbert Gottfried. It's still my favorite bit. Oh God.
I don't listen to Cardi B. Like what's like some nasty Cardi B lyrics here?
I just like the Cardi B bit. The Cardi B, the Gilbert Gottfried bit. That was the funniest shit we've done.
What nastiest Cardi B lyrics?
The reply is just all of them.
What's the most inappropriate song by Cardi B?
Oh, people are
the first answer. I have utterly no idea what a Cardi B actually is. Well, that's not helpful.
Cardi B most inappropriate song.
War of oh wait, that's BTS. Who cares about BTS? Why can't I get an answer?
They're all just saying WAP.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
But...
her whole discography. Amazing.
Well, Anaconda. Does she do Anaconda? Or is that Megan Thee Stallion?
Feel like that's Megan Thee Stallion.
You don't know.
No, I think it is. It's Nicki Minaj.
See?
Her whole discography. Listen, it's enjoy Cardi B at the SummerSlam. She's gonna get involved in one of the matches. Which one?
I think she's gonna do something with Bailey. Oh wait, there's a song called "Nasty Girl" by Cardi B. That's got. I mean, come on now.
I watch it be like the nicest of them. Yes, we did. We talked about the TNA YouTube channel. They're playing August 1 Warning on repeat. But every time they do the reveal, apparently it's a different shot of the reactions or something. They recut it. So every time they do the reaction, it's something different. Are you looking at the lyrics to this song?
I'm seeing it doesn't look like it's a real Cardi B song.
Well, there you go.
Is it just called Nasty?
Man.
It seemed like it's Nasty Girl. This is just Cardi B nasty lyrics.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Why can't I find the lyrics to this song? Is the album too nasty? Or the song too nasty? That I can't get it? Well, what can you do? Oh, it's Carby. Oh, wait, hold on.
Carby B.
I thought it was Carby D.
Carby B is a
No,
friend
no,
of ours.
No, it's a. Why can't there's no lyrics for this?
Why can't the children pray in school? Sorry, I forgot that God loves pro wrestling.
That line rules.
I should have asked about that in the interview. What was your reaction to when he said that to your face and meant it? Then again, the director, Chris, is from Texas, so he probably would have been like, he's right. And be like, I'm out. I talk to God every night, and he tells me how to book wrestling. And I'm like, tell him to book it better, pal. Tell him to book less shit.
Why can't I find lyrics to these songs?
Probably because they don't have lyrics. They're just songs that exist in the
They're
ethos.
just noises.
They're just noise. Just sex noises. Oh God.
They're just noises. All right, can we play the Gilbert Gottfried thing?
Yeah, I got it here.
Can we cue that up? Okay. All right, we'll play that for everybody.
Can you hear this? If I play it, can you hear it?
I don't know. We tried this before.
Yeah, but could you hear it? I was just playing it. Could you hear it again?
No. Can't hear shit, Joel.
No, you can't hear it? Okay, I got to do this. See if I can... I don't want to share the screen, do I? Because then I'm going to get demonetized.
I didn't recite it in Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
No, you did not.
We played... I don't do a Gilbert Gottfried. We played the Gilbert Gottfried thing for everybody.
We did.
I've recited the lyrics before, but not in Gilbert Gottfried voice. I can't do Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
What happens if I do it like this? Okay, we're gonna see. Someone said I could have sworn it was you. I had it just running through my board.
Oh my gosh, Joel.
Well, this is what happens. Oh, wait, is it this? No, those are speakers. Tell me if you hear something. Can you hear this?
No.
No. Can you?
No.
Can you hear this?
No.
Can you hear that?
No. There's no snare in my headphones.
No, nothing. Okay.
No.
This is the worst. This is the problem. Is that it used to work and then suddenly it changed on me.
I'm gonna have to sing these lyrics.
You
Clearly.
will. I just don't want to get us demonetized if I do a share screen thing.
Yeah, if you do like a video
Yeah.
on it.
Because if I do this, there it is.
Yeah, you might.
Can I do it in a way where I don't?
Where you don't have the video up.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, folks. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get it.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
Okay.
You try to figure it out, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Can you
the
hear?
lyrics to WAP
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
from Cardi
Okay,
B
here we go.
and Megan Thee Stallion. The floor is yours, Gilbert.
Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Beat it up, catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This pussy is wet. Come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's role play. I'll wear a disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it cream. Make it scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook. I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got this ring.
We miss you, Gilbert Gottfried. God bless.
All right. Hold on. Let's get into the next verse here. Gilbert did verse 1.
Yes, he did. Very
Joel,
well.
how about you do verse 2?
No, thank you.
What?
I do not need any potential employers looking at this and saying, "What is he doing?"
Oh, I'm not worried about potential
I know you're
employers.
not. You're good.
Verse 2, folks. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me, yeah. Quick, jump out, for you let it get inside of me, yeah. I tell him where to put it, never tell him where I'm about to be, huh? I'll run down on him, for I have a run in me, pow, pow, pow. Talk your shit, bite your lip, yeah. Ask for a car while I ride that dick. You really ain't never gotta fuck him for a thing, yeah? He already made up his mind for he came, yeah? Now get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass pussy. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet-ass pussy. Click, click, click. Paid my tuition just to kiss on this wet-ass pussy. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Now make it rain if you want to see some wet-ass pussy. Yeah, yeah. Verse 3. Go, Joel.
This is okay. I don't have it up in front of me, so
Come on.
you can do it. I got you. TNA really likes this show, by the way.
Everyone should love this show.
We gotta get out of here before we get in trouble. SummerSlam is this weekend. We got content. There will be plenty. Jeremy and I are back on Monday because we have main channel Monday. So we'll be on Fightful's main channel where we just crossed 200,000 subscribers. So if there's one thing that you can be guaranteed on, we will make sure that number goes down below 200,000 if we can make it, if we can help it. We will do it.
Put this up.
We'll put this up. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the SummerSlam if you do. Enjoy all the other stuff. Jeremy, is there anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Look, I need a hard hitter. I need a deep stroker. Need a Henny drinker. Need a weed smoker. Not a garter steak. I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. He got some money. Then that's where I'm headed. Pussy A1, just like his credit. He got a beard. Well, I'm trying to wet it. I let him taste it. Now he diabetic. I don't want to spit. I want to gulp. I want to gag. I want to choke. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging in the back of my throat. My head game is fire. Punani Dasani. It's going in dry, and it's coming out soggy. I ride on that thing like the cops is behind me. Yeah, I spit on his mic, and now he trying to sign me. Woo!
Is that it?
Yeah, you fucking with some wet-ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy. Give it everything you got for this wet-ass pussy. Macaroni in a pot is some wet-ass pussy. I'm talking whap, 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 wet-ass pussy. Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet-ass pussy.
Anything else?
Cardi B rules.
Oh my god. That's the cold open for something. That should be us reciting hashtag WWE reacts. That's the collab they're waiting to do. When he's busted open when he got this. Oh God, you know who I am. You know who he is. Go enjoy your weekend. Get outside. Have fun. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one.
Punani Dasani is crazy, by
It's
the
a hell of a
way.
lie. All right, we'll see you soon.